Halika Jakoha. Hi, my name is Shailina Lingaard. I am part of the Lokono tribe, also known as the Arawak tribe in Suriname. I represent the Association of Indigenous Village Leaders in Suriname, formerly known in Dutch as VIDS, who is the institute of all 52 indigenous traditional authorities in Suriname, and our main goal is to gain legal recognition of our collective rights, because as indigenous peoples, we are the first people of Suriname, who is the only country in South America that has not enacted legislation to recognizing our collective rights, in particular our land rights. We do not receive climate finance yet, but the VIDS, with support from donors, has carried out projects on climate awareness and research in indigenous communities, as well as partaking in international processes like the Climate Cup. One of the many challenges that indigenous communities face with the effects of climate change is that it endangers our indigenous livelihood due to extreme weather, heavy rainfall causing floods, but also extreme and prolonged drought. It has its effect on our health, on our food systems, our food security, our ecosystems, loss of biodiversity, relocation to other areas, but also loss of cultural traditional practices as well as indigenous knowledge. A positive impact that the climate funding for indigenous communities can bring is improving climate adaptation, by creating awareness programs, training programs, as well as providing tools for example, water resource management, preserving food security, as well as capacity building for indigenous leaders so they can advocate for their land rights, but also to partake and engage in decision making and planning processes on a national as well as an international level. See, continued support for indigenous communities is important because indigenous people, we are not only vulnerable to the effects of climate change, and even though we make up less than 5% of the world population, we fulfill an important role when it comes to protecting and guiding of 80% of our world's biodiversity, our nature. We are protectors of our forests, our water, our animals. See, indigenous livelihood also causes zero carbon emissions. So why would you not want to support us? See, one of the ways indigenous peoples can continue our livelihood is to be a part of policy-making processes or let our voices be heard, create opportunities where we can tell our stories and share our experiences and our knowledge. That's why I support the Access Granted campaign. Minkako Boboratinde da. Thank you.
I'm Crystal from the Crystal Clear Initiative.
I'm Durval from the Climate Conscious Podcast, and this is Access Granted.
Hey Crystal, what's up?
Hi Super, what's up? I'm great.
Tell us a little bit more about Access Granted.
Sure. The Access Granted campaign is an advocacy campaign aimed at unlocking gender-responsive climate finance for Caribbean small island developing states.
I understand that the Access Granted campaign is actually broken up into 3 parts.
Yes, indeed.
What are the 3 parts?
The first feature is a social media campaign aimed at creating awareness on gender-responsive climate finance. The second part of the campaign is a Caribbean regional art competition, and the third part is a one-day capacity building workshop.
Sounds wonderful, Crystal. What is the objective of the Access Granted initiative?
Yes, the objectives of the Access Granted campaign is raising the awareness on the connection between gender equality and climate finance. The second objective is building the capacity of the Caribbean people to access climate finance.
Sounds wonderful. Now tell me, what is the Crystal Clear initiative?
Yes, the Crystal Clear Initiative is a legally registered non-governmental organization which focuses on the differentiated impact of climate change and gender equality. We seek to raise awareness and educate persons on the intersectionality between climate justice and gender equality.
For persons like myself who are big on the environment, how can we benefit from this project?
The benefits of this project are for persons who are usually underrepresented to build their capacity on how to access climate finance.